And we're recording! Yay!
Hello!
Hello!
Hello?
Pie, sound off!
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Alright, let's try this again. I'll go first. Maverick, here.
Nyx, here!
I was trying to let Pie go first, but Oreo here.
Pie here.
Okay, so we're trying something a little different this time. Usually what I'll do is I'll stream or record with just me and then everyone else is in text. But, we're gonna try to all sort of talk a bit, which means it might get a little chaotic. We might end up talking over each other.
Might.
Okay, we'll definitely be talking over each other, but, so the game we're playing, for people who have not heard of this, it's called, 100% Orange Juice. It is, for lack of a better explanation, it's a sort of Mario Party game crossed with a sort of trading card game crossed with tons and tons of beating the living daylights out of each other. It's an interesting game. It's actually one of our favorite games.
Basically, it's a massive multiplayer crossover of all the games produced by Orange Juice, which is a game company from Japan.
Was it produced by Orange Juice or translated by Orange Juice?
No, it was produced by Orange Juice and translated by Fruit Bat
That's
Factory.
right. Yeah, unless you're really into, like, indie Japanese shooters, you probably haven't heard of them, but they do games like, Suguri, Acceleration of Suguri, Sora,
QP Shooting.
QP Shooting Dangerous, Xmas Shooting. There was another one, wasn't there?
Oh, shoot, there was, but what are
The joke dating game.
Technically Kiyosuke is from QP Shooting Dangerous now. That's what they assign him as, because he was canonized in that game. But yeah, basically, Orange Juice tends to make a lot of shoot-'em-ups in various types, and all of the playable characters are from those shoot-'em-ups in this game, and there's actually a lot of them.
Well, for the most part. There are a couple original characters in this game.
Yeah, there are, Tomomo is the original character. There are also a couple of characters that are, preview characters. It was, I believe, Miu and Reppa are two witches that are in here to preview their game.
Kai is unique to this game.
No, Kei was in Suguri. Oh, no, Kai, right. K-A-I. Sorry. Yeah, he's also unique to the game.
We all forget
Yeah,
about him.
he's so generic.
Kai is such a protagonist, we literally forget he exists. So I'm going to go ahead and hit begin so that I can explain some of the mechanics of this game. So first and foremost, you see that when we go into the loading, we have a deck build system. And that's because these cards are what we use to do things with. Every character picks 10 cards, and when the game starts, all the 10 cards are combined into a central deck in the board and then shuffled. They also add, what was it, 8? Was it 8 blank cards? That when is drawn, it becomes your character's hyper. Now every character has their own hyper. As you can see, I'm playing one of the original characters called Tomomo, and her hyper is Magical Massacre. So to explain about the cards a little bit, level is the level you have to be at to be able to play the card. In the game, when you hit home, if you have matched one of 2 conditions, you will level up, which is what's called Norma up. The options are to get a certain amount of stars or to get a certain amount of wins. With the exception of a couple of characters, you can choose freely whichever one you want to go to. And we'll get into the special character a little later. Cost is how many of the stars you're currently holding that it costs to play. As you can see, Magical Massacre costs 40, because the gold stars are 10 stars each. You'll have yellow stars, or green stars, which are 1 star each, and then black stars, which are variable cost, which the description on the bottom will say. You can see what type of card it is by what's beside the star there. You see Magical Massacre says Hyper Event. There are various type of cards, events, traps, sort of things. We'll get to those as they come. And then you have just the description, which tells you what the card does, and a quote from the character on the card. It's pretty simple. As a brief explanation, you notice that on Tomomo's unit card, her description says Softened. Tomomo is actually a very strong character in single player, to the point that her stats were broken in multiplayer, so they actually had to lower her stats for multiplayer. For the character cards, of course, the name is at the top. You see their HP at the top. That's how much health you have. Easy enough. Origin tells you what their game of origin is. You can see hers is 100% orange juice. Hyper tells you the name of their hyper. Like I said, the little down there where it says soften, that's the description. And below them is your stats. To do anything in this game, you roll a 6-sided die, and then whatever your stats are gets added to that. So you notice, or subtracted, depending on it. You notice that Tomomo has 2 attack, 0 defense, 0 evade. So if she rolls an attack roll, whatever her roll is will get 2 added. So if she rolls 3, her attack will actually be 5. Since her defense and evade are 0, her rolls for those 2 things it's just going to be what the roll actually says. Recovery is how long it takes for her to get back up when she is killed. The thing about it is that when you are knocked out, when your turn comes around, you will roll a die. If your die is equal to or over the number that you need to recover, you will come back to life. If the die is less, you will not come back to life. Your turn will be skipped, and you have to try again next turn.
But on your next turn, that number you need will be reduced by 1.
Yes.
So should you have horrific luck and completely whiff, once the recovery roll drops to 1, you get right up regardless.
Yes. There are some things that will modify what it does, like if you look at Magical Massacre, every person I KO with this card, it will drop my revive, so if I KO'd all 3 other people, my recovery roll would actually be 3 next time I died. And there are other ways to modify it. There's not very many, but there are other ways to modify it. Now, defense and evade. Defense, when you roll defense and your enemy rolls attack, the 2 rolls are essentially their defense roll is subtracted from your attack roll. So like if you rolled a 3 and they rolled a 5 of defense, your attack would be 0, but every character takes 1 damage base from defending. So even if you rolled like an 8 and they rolled a 1, you would still take that 1 damage. That means defense is a very good way of dampening damage, but you will never escape unscathed. Now with evade, your roll has to be higher than their roll. If your roll is higher than their roll, then you completely dodge any damage whatsoever. But if your roll is equal to or lower than their roll, then you take their entire attack roll and HP damage. So like, let's say Maverick rolled 3 for attack and I rolled 2 for evade, I would take 3 attack damage, leaving me at 1 HP. Evading is essentially an all or nothing deal, while defense is the more safe deal, because with defense you just have to roll equal to their roll to take the minimum amount of damage. And that's pretty much the basics, so that took a while. Now I will hit change character. You can see there are ton of characters here. A lot of them are grayed out because I don't have all the DLC. I didn't order, I didn't like unlock all the characters. But like, looking at the top roll, you have Tomato and Mimu, you have Sherry, Saki, Fernet, Kyosuke, and No Name, and it just goes down. There's like tons and tons of characters you can pick. For the sake of demonstration, I'm actually going to pick a character that I only tend to play. And this is Kyryoko. As you can see, she's actually kind of special. She completely ignores healing effects, but she has 8 HP. This means that the HP you're given is sort of all the HP you get for that turn. Rather than having like 3 HP but able to heal freely, you get all your HP at once. The other thing is if I play a battle card with her, she gains an extra attack and evade in addition to whatever battle card she has, but her max HP is reduced, so she has less and less HP to go with. And you can see with a -1 defense, that means any defensive roll she makes, she loses a defense, but her minimum defense will be 1. So if she rolls a 1, it will be 1, but if she rolls a 2, it'll be 1. Things like that. And you can see she has a different hyper. Hypers are unique to every character, so every character has their own hyper to work with. Also, cosmetics. You have poses, which lets you put them in different poses for the lobby. You have unit colors, which lets you change the colors. This orange one is the Halloween color, and this red and white one is the Christmas color. For now, I'm going to put Kyryoko in black. Hair color changes the various hair colors. You can see they have quite a lot of different varieties. Anything that has an X over it, I have not gained yet. And then accessories. You have some accessories that came from events. You have some accessories that came from drops. Just various amounts of things. Pet is a little pet that follows you. You can see I've got quite a few here as well. I'm going to go with the shark for now. And home mark is what your home looks like. Again, you can see I've got quite a few here. And dice is what your dice looks like. I'm going to stick with the rose dice for now. And you can also save whatever cards you've picked to preload a deck and get it all set. So, that is the explanations. So we can now actually dive into this. Also, that lizard does look traumatized. The poor lizard.
Doesn't it?
Okay.
I tried to match my traumatized lizard.
So this is the board. Every board has its own background. It has its own layout, but all of these squares are the same. The squares that are multicolored with the little things floating above them, those are our home squares. You can tell which character has which home square by the colors. So, like, since Pi is green, her heart is green. Since since Pi is player 3, her heart is green. I'm player 4, my heart is yellow. So on and so forth.
I just died on the first turn.
And now you see one of the things that plagues us in this game. Seagulls are evil. Seagulls are pure evil.
Seagulls are the secret boss.
Yes. So there, as you see, since I fudged my evade roll, I took the damage. But yeah, so an explanation of what everyone is going. Like I said, the multicolored squares with the little markers are the home marks. You get back to the home mark to Norma. You can see we have stars and winds down here. Tells you the highlighted one is the one that you actually are currently on, but you can switch at any point when you get to a home mark and level up. You have these green squares, which are draw squares, draw a card. Red squares, which are battle squares, fight an NPC. Purple squares warp you to another warp space on the board. Yellow squares are ones you roll a die and you earn that many stars. Blue squares, roll a die, you lose that many stars. And the 2 stars are actually modified by your normal level. It's multiplied, isn't it, Maverick?
Something like that, yeah. Like, if you're a normal level 1, rolling a 3 on a yellow space would get you 3 stars. But if you're a normal level 2, you'd get 6.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I can't actually...
Anyways, as you probably just saw, when it's your turn, you have the option to play a card. When you play a trap card, it's set on the space that you're currently standing on, and it's triggered by anyone else, including you, landing on it.
You might also notice we didn't see the trap card, because that is that's the intention, is you don't actually see what the card does. Also, somebody used a rocket there. There's a thing you can do where you use where you like put in tokens to get pets. That's how we got the pets we're playing with, and they can give you little items like this, like balloons. Look at the balloons.
Engines for Pi.
Hooray!
There is one other square that you will not see for a little bit, but I will address that when we get there. So as you can see, the deck is in the center of the board here. The chapter is what turn we are on. It uses chapters in place of turns, so we're currently on turn 2. There are actually board events. The board events we have this time are Sprint, Freeze, and Playground. And every board event triggers on its own time. I think Sprint is every 5 turns, every 5th turn. Something like that. But I hit a drop space, so I roll a 1 and I drop a star.
Yeah, one of
I really
2.
like to make those glasses.
I really love the glasses too. Yeah, I believe that is finally all the explanations, but for the boss.
And the chocolate.
Yeah, the chocolate. The chocolate is just an event going on right now. It's the Valentine's event. Collect chocolate. When you have 500 or more, land on a home and you'll store it. We've all finished the event, but there are events that are like that around. Just for the sake of the game itself, ignore the chocolate being here. I will
Would have
actually
been
go...
pretty funny though if we never mentioned it and everybody was like, "What are those?"
Why are there chocolate on the... People are just like, why are there chocolate on the board? And we just go, what chocolate?
What are those?
We don't see no chocolate. But I think I accidentally talked over Maverick, but all the boards have their own direction, so to speak. Like, you might have noticed those 2 times he hits a branching area, he could pick which way to go. You can kind of tell by the arrows on the board, but it's one of those things you kind of have to feel out for yourself eventually. Also, you get to see Kiroko's funny reaction when she lands on a home. She gets the,
Basically, when you land on a home space, you recover 1 HP, except for Kiriko, who can't heal.
Yeah, so she just does like the fail death animation whenever it tries to heal her because it doesn't work. It's kind of great.
No heal for you.
Yeah. So the playground spaces are the ones with the little... What is Popo?
She's like
Nobody
a...
knows.
I think a goat was the best guess.
Yeah. The thing with the little goat popping a, whatever you call those things, a little horn? That's
Party popper.
Yeah, party popper. That's a playground space. When you land on that, you'll play a minigame, and you get either a detriment or a benefit, depending on how well you do in it. There's like
And
3
sometimes randomly.
Yeah, sometimes randomly. The better you do, the more likely you are to get a benefit, though, is the way it went. But, yeah, the freeze ones, just if a square is frozen, you cannot land on it, and you do not consume movement going over it. Okay, so playground and freeze are every 5th turn, sprint is every 6th turn. Alright. Yeah, that's, yeah, as far as I'm aware, except for the one space that is coming up that I will explain when it appears, I believe we have finally finished explaining everything!
Oh, hi.
You found a friend, Oreo! And yeah, sprint just makes you roll, double die. Let's live a little here. Fight time! So for the flow of battle, I say we're done explaining, then explain more. For the flow of battle, the person who initiated the battle starts on offensive, while the other person starts on defensive. Attack rolls first, and I rolled a 3. Defense rolls, and she rolled evade and took all the damage. And so she's rolling attack, so if I roll defense, I only take 1 damage. As you can see, it is 2 rounds. Attacker attacks, defender defends, then it flips, and the defender attacks, and the attacker defends. And battle just is just that round. Hello! There are actually ways to make...
saw and ran away.
There are ways to make the battle last longer, and there's actually one card, I think, that makes the battle permanent until one side is dead. But I don't remember what that card is called. Also, I haven't drawn anything, so I haven't been able to tell about cards.
Battle, isn't it?
I think you're right. I think it is Final Battle. Also, it's, there's actually... Hi!
Also,
Hi.
as you just noticed, you can only have a maximum at 3 cards at the end of your turn.
Yes.
Yep. Well, for the most part, there are exceptions, of course. But if you have more cards than you can hold, when your turn is over, you have to discard a number of cards to get back to your maximum.
Yeah. Note that what Maverick said specifically, when your turn is over. If you like start a turn with more cards than you can hold, which is possible, if you burn enough cards that turn to take you down to your limit, you don't have to discard anything. And I believe the 2 you're thinking of is Niku and Aru are the ones who can hold 4 cards. Oh yeah, the other thing is you notice down there on Pi who is playing Tis. Her. You notice that she has a little heart flowing around her head. Gift cards are a special type of card that give various bonuses. The drawback to them is that they actually show when you are holding them. Like, they're holding the special Valentine event gift card right now, which is why the heart.
Revenge!
Revenge! Yeah, if you memorize all of the gift card icons, you can actually be fairly forewarned about what people have. It's kind of nice.
Also, for the most part, if someone else is holding a gift card and you knock them out, they lose it.
Yes, most gift cards are discarded upon KO. Which leads me to the other thing. If the deck is completely consumed, every single card in the deck, including all of the hyper cards, are shuffled back together and the deck is refreshed. So while there are only 8 hyper cards in the deck, you could play 16 or more, depending on how fast you deplete the deck. And it is possible to deplete the deck 3 or 4 times in one game, depending on what you've got going on.
I know you're doing explanations, but I like rolled a 1 for 2 turns. I'm really moving.
You really are. You're grooving, aren't you, Oreo? Oh yeah, one other thing. You might have noticed that the background music changed. There is actually no board music in this game. The way it works is that player 1's personal theme is played when the game starts, and every time somebody normas, their theme replaces it. So poor Oreo. Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot. Maverick is playing his, we'll say, signature character, which is Sham, who has a really nasty hyper, as you can see on the field here. Oreo is playing Kay, whose hyper is about as nasty, I would say. And Pi, like I said, is playing Tish, whose hyper is actually more for her benefit. Though it used right, it can be nasty. Same here, let's go ahead and chill off the playground. So I've got spin the wheel. This means I can get whatever's on the wheel. The star is stars, the Z is skip your turn, the bomb is a bomb, and the red one is a battle. The star's actual, or the time you actually have to click to make that wheel work depends on how fast it's going. All of the mini games have kind of a trick like that, with the exception of Whack-a-Popo, which is exactly what it sounds like. Let's just say Marie Popo is not really loved in this game.
I went a whole extra space.
You rolled a 2, and so did Pi.
Well, that 2 was enough to keep me ahead of you. Yay!
To be fair, I don't really want to attack you right now.
Hooray!
Considering...
Why is that?
Well, let's look at Tiss's card here and see. She gains 2 attack if she's holding a gift card. And since you've got a gift card, that means that your attack rolls now get to +2 to them. And I don't really want to deal with that. The different
Finally
types
went somewhere.
the different types of cards aren't really all that important. The most important ones, just remember that trap cards get laid on the floor to be a trap if you land on them, and everything else is just played in different ways. That's about it. I think I finally did cover everything now, didn't I?
Somehow I doubt it.
Thankfully, Tiss can't double stack cards.
Thankfully, for you guys.
Yeah, here for Norma. First of all, my theme replaces the background theme, and I can pick what I want to do. So I can either pick to go get more stars, or I can pick to get wins. As you've noticed, beating the NPCs gets you 1 win, beating a player gets you 2 wins, and you can get 3 wins for a special thing dealing with that one tile I will talk about when it comes up. I'm going to stick with stars for now. You saw, once again, I missed on the heel.
Here's the thing between stars and wins. Stars are typically easier to get, but they're also easier to lose. Wins are typically harder to get, but you can never lose them.
With stars, if an enemy player, not even an enemy player, if something knocks you out, you lose half your stars to that whoever knocked you out, but you will never lose your wins. It's just a matter of building the wins up.
Oh no.
Oh no! It's a seagull!
No!
Ah!
You won!
Seagull has been defeated!
Yay! You survived! Thank goodness for that.
I defeated the bird. Oh, I'm sorry, Milo. I didn't mean to clap. Come back.
Did you scare your dog?
Yeah.
I find it kind of hilarious that since I got this LUMEN gift card, I've been rolling only 1s and 2s in battle, nothing more.
I'm kind of glad for that if you want my, You know what? I'm gonna go this way. I don't want to be in front of you.
Why not? Don't tell me you're scared of little she.
Yes! Yes, I am! I'm terrified of you, especially because I'm down to 2 HP. Oh no. The problem with Kuroko is that while I have a good stock of HP, when I get low, I tend to be a very juicy target because I have no way of restoring my HP. That's actually what her hyper is about. You're intended to use her hyper to self-KO. Because if you die outside of battle, you don't lose your stars or anything. You just have to do your recovery. And I am very uncomfortable with the fact that I'm being surrounded right now. There's a fox on my tail and I'm not happy with this. Please go away, Foxy. Kuroko also has what is one of my favorite music tracks in the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind it changing already.
There actually, I don't think there are not very many people with bad themes. There are a couple I'm not fond of, but oh god. No! Help! Oh hi. I did it! Get away from me!
Backfire.
Case, do you want a little help next time?
If I had one more Norma,
By the
it'd
way,
be evil.
by the way, there's a theme you will see very often in this game.
Maverick rolls terribly.
When the dice hate you, there's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah, this is a game that is a... Thank you!
I did offer.
You did offer!
You're welcome.
I was kind of afraid of what you were actually going to do, though, so I was sort of nervous about accepting. But yeah, this is a game that is very reliant on the dice. There are ways to work around it and still win, even if you're having bad rolls, but yeah. It's...
The dice hate everyone.
Yeah.
And want them to die.
That's why you can usually recover from it, because it's not a matter of the dice love everyone else and just hate you. No, the dice hate everybody.
Except you.
The dice hate me plenty. They just hate me less than the rest of you. Well, less often, I should say. This is a game I'm actually better at than everyone else, which is kind of weird to me.
Stole my chicken kill.
But it got me dinner, so.
Man, I'm alive! Also, yeah, you might notice that our pets actually have various animations, like with the rest of us. Sorry, my sniffliness. Oh yeah, there's a thing down here where you can check the last 4 cards played. Extend essentially just means that when you're knocked out, next turn you will immediately revive. No rolls, no risks, nothing. You just pop right back up.
You get knocked down, but you get up again.
And they're never gonna keep you down. Here we
And
go.
here's
When
the final
someone reaches
tile.
normal level 4, all the normal battle spaces become boss spaces.
The boss is actually very tough. It has a lot higher stats, but there's only one singular boss, so every time you land on the boss space, you will get the same enemy until the boss is killed. And when the boss is killed, it's gone, and we go back to normal spaces. It does not come back the next time somebody Norma 4s. It is only a one-shot event, but there are ways to actually summon the boss again.
Oh, hello.
One character specifically revolves around this. Also, I'm very nervous at that eager note in Oreo's voice. Also, some other cards actually show animations. Like you saw, Tish there was leaving an after image. That means she has the card called Windy Enhancement, which adds +1 to her move rolls. The catch on that is that you can't Norma while you're holding those kind of cards. You know, let's take a risk here. So the boss for this board is the store manager. He looks like a melted puddle of a person. That's also the Valentine's event. These NPCs have their own appearances. It's just they're all made of chocolate in the Valentine's event. Also, you can see what I mean by the bosses having better stats. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ow, that hurt a lot.
Quite a bit, wow.
I would have actually liked that to hurt one more, maybe. At least when I'm at 1 HP, I've got a chance of using my hyper if I can get it. But I'm in a very vulnerable state. I have to find some way to take 1 damage and just 1 damage. And none of the people here are capable of that. Any of you can kill me, and I don't like this.
Waruda, turn on your location. We just want to talk.
No! Absolutely not! Also, that's a plot thing, by the way. A bunch of characters are from a group called the Waruda? I believe they're called...
Warada.
Warada. The Bad Kid Warada group. It's led by Yuki, and Kuroko is a member, so are Tomato, Mimu, Krilla. Wasn't May one as well?
I'm not sure.
There's not a lot of information on some of these games, as you can probably guess, considering they're indie Japanese games. So we just kind of have to guess.
Never got translated, so...
Yeah, the original QP didn't get translated, the original Xmas shooting didn't get translated. We just kind of have to go off what we can get. Also, this is the other game, the match 2. The last pair you match or the last card you select will be what you get. So you want to match all the bad ones first, and then match all the good ones. Easy. Also, I just realized you have 1,400 chocolate in your inventory, Oreo.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Also, Tish is coming up very close on you people.
Oh, she can come join the party. I'm alright with that.
I got another wheel.
Yay!
Now, what's this
Fight
one?
party!
This one is fast, so... Did I do that right? No, I didn't! Oh god!
Oh boy!
No! Stay away from me! I don't want to go backwards! They're mean people backwards! They're gonna kill me! Someone help! Okay, on the on the good news, at least moving behind will mean you can't hit me. On the bad news, now Tisk can. This is bad. This is a bad situation. I need you all to stay away from me, please. It was either this or land on the boss space, and neither of them were very appealing.
You're making yourself such a tempting target with all of those stars.
Roll a 1, please, roll a 1. Not you, Sham, her!
You cursed her!
I didn't want you to roll a 1, Maverick.
Hey, survived.
Yeah, one of the reasons the boss is so dangerous is that because they have such high bonuses,
Shoot, I wanted to go in. I need Norma.
if you get a if they get a low roll and you get a good roll, then you can survive. But if you get a bad roll or they get a really good roll, then you are dead. And speaking of dead, I am dead. Goodbye. Also, you can see when
I finally rolled something that wasn't a 1 or a 2!
Also, you can see when Kuroko's dead, she has like a little scalpel in her head. Oh god. Oh. Obviously we're in Delta Range level territory now, but we've actually been in Delta Range territory for a couple turns.
Actually, you just now are there.
No, Delta Field is a
too
2-star.
Oh, my mistake then.
That's one of the reasons you can actually see hypers when you mouse over people, so that you know roughly what level you have to start being worried at. The funny thing is, while Kai is like the most forgettable character in the world, being such a good protagonist, his hyper is one of the better in the games. It prevents the attack back turn. Like when the enemy attacks you, if he engages in combat, they don't actually get to attack back, which is nice. Oh, this is problematic.
Someone's pulling ahead.
Yeah, that. At least Tisk got my stars instead of Maverick. Also, one thing I did neglect to mention, you might notice that certain characters are actually talking. You can sort of hear their voice, but if you look at their character portrait, you can see the little dialogue. Not every character in the game is voiced at the moment. For instance, Kuroko is not voiced. But if a character is voiced, they will have like little voice lines they say for all kinds of fun things. Now who's a tempting target?
Not me, hopefully.
If I can just get over there, you all are.
You know, let's live a little. Oh
I just
no!
realized you guys kind of have matching
What did
hair
you pull?
right
What
now.
did you pull? Oh no! 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 Oh God! Why?
Achievement for that!
Why?
Wow!
At least I'm at full health, so I'll survive it, but... So that was No Name's hyper, she just pulled! And that does exactly what it looks like. It removes you from the battle and puts them up against the boss!
I couldn't have been more perfect if I tried.
Oh no, Kay's coming after us! Go after them, Kay! I don't have as many stars!
You got more than Maverick.
Not more than you. Go kill Tiss!
I'll take the heal.
Oh no. Sham's got really high defenses. It's really bad when she's healed. So yeah, Blazing, which is
Being hopeful.
Blazing, which is Kay's hyper, drops
Good enough.
drops her defense by 1 and her attack by 1. But Kay's inherent ability means that whenever she takes every point in defense that is negative and adds it to her attack. So if she had like -5 defense, she would then get +5 attack. And there's actually an achievement for doing that. It doesn't.
I've gotten that achievement.
Yeah, it doesn't remove the negative defense. It just takes whatever your negative defense is and then copies that to add to your attack. So the lower her defense, the more dangerous she is. When she has really low defense, you need to attack her first and hope you can kill her before she can get the counterattack. You know what? I'm actually okay with this low roll at the moment. I don't want to be in front of any of you people. What? That's not what I picked. I made it a little too early.
No, it looked like it changed. You were on the star and then you were suddenly on the first walk.
I was on the very edge of the first star, so it might be that the selection can be a little finicky, so you want to lead just a teeny bit.
That was a painful drop space.
And as you noticed, Kay's thing is AoE, so she just hit all of us with that defense down. And there goes the manager. That's
Hey,
why.
I'll take it.
-4 defense.
That's
We're
why.
all dead.
Yeah, that's why Kay is dangerous. We're in trouble. I'll take it. I'll take it. Whatever keeps me behind Kay. Maverick is very carefully staying the heck away from her.
Oh, come on, Dice.
The
Oh,
dice are
hello.
on my side.
Wait, what did you just? Did you draw another Blazing?
Yes.
Oh my god, no. Why?
The dice may be on your side, but the cards are on mine.
You know what? No.
Aw, come on.
Absolutely not. Oh god, I'm in front of you now. I gotta risk it. You got +5 attack. I have to risk being able to kill you before you can attack. It worked!
That was a gamble.
Like, if I got in front of her, she was gonna attack me, and then that +5 was gonna hit me before I could retaliate. I had to attack and hope I could get her before she could get the counter.
Man!
And Sham is losing stars left and right over there. Oh no! She's not getting ready! Oh god, why?
The good news is that you taking her down killed her Blazing boost.
For now.
Yeah, for now, but
Attack me and I'll steal your chocolate. That's my threat.
I don't have that many.
Dang it. This is actually kind of, honestly, I think the gift is probably the least valuable of what I'm currently holding. Though as much as the stuff I'm holding is of immense value, none of it's gonna save me from Kay. And now she's mad because I have all her stars. Oh god! No! As you can see, that 2-tile range.
Come on, cards! Or dice, rather.
That 2-tile range also extends in every direction. So yeah. Get her, Seagull. Get her. Get her. No.
What is this? You're rooting for Seagull?
The Seagull will keep me from dying. So yes, I'm rooting for the Seagull.
Oh wait, that's right. You're a Waruda. You're supposed to be evil.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I believe Tis just picked up the gift card Lost Child.
Yep.
That makes you move backwards when you roll. Which is,
Not something I want right now.
yeah. I was gonna say unfortunate, but I'm actually not on the same path you are, so you can't get at me. Oh, why? No! Oh, thank God, nothing froze between me and Kay. I still have a chance to get away. Oh, God, no! Kay rolls before me, help!
I'm just rubbing my hands together.
Roll low, someone save me. No! I'm dead! Look, you're home! Don't you want to go there? I think I'm dead. I'm dead!
Goodbye, friend.
I'm dead!
Hey, a bonus! Now I have a lot of chocolate.
And you stole all your stars back. My attempt
Oh
at,
no, not this.
my attempt at saving myself was for nothing. So yeah, whack a popo. Hit the popos, don't hit the altes, the ones with kind of pinkish hair, or the tomomos, which are the ones
I don't have the reflexes for
holding the
this
thing.
game.
If you hit Alte, it explodes everything and you lose even more points.
Ow.
Or gain more points depending on how many popos are in play.
Usually you're gonna you're gonna lose because there's not usually enough popos to outbalance the other Altes or tomomos you hit with that. And it moves so fast you can't really guarantee what's gonna pop up and what's not, so it's better just to avoid it. Why'd you steal my piggy bank, you jerk?
I can't help. That's what I rolled.
There wasn't even very much in it.
That's because you stole my money!
Yeah, I'm close.
For the Normas, I believe the tiers are everyone has to get 10 stars to Norma first. Then it's 30 stars, 70 stars, 120 stars, and 200 stars. Wins are 2 wins.
That is what it looks like when a trap card backfires at the worst possible time.
Yes, it does.
The best part is, I used that hyper so I could get you, and then it rolled lemon sprint and crosswalk, so you got away. I was thinking I wouldn't be able to get you, and it was gonna wear off without hitting anything.
And then you hit the trap.
It's my own fault for putting it there.
That's why I don't use those traps anymore. They always seem to backfire worse than they help me. But what was it? Yeah, the star tier is 30, 70, 120, and 200, I think it is. And then the
That sounds about right.
yeah, and then the win tier is 2, 5, 9, and 14. Like I said, the first Norma, everybody has to get 10 stars to Norma. With the exception of Starbreaker, who can only pick wins. So she is automatically locked into the win Normas, and she has to get 1 win to Norma the first time. She's the only one that is an exception to the leveling rules, though.
That was a lot of chocolate.
Pine usually has 4,000 chocolate.
I
5,000.
only have 5,000. Yeah.
You have 5,000, actually.
Yep, 5,500. Can I please get to a home game? I want to know that. Not be a 2 HP.
Hiya, Flame Tits.
What?
Oh, God! No!
Ooh.
And there's Sham's Danger, Delta Field. It makes you roll 1 for the next turn on every roll you make. And I'm in front of a boss,
I'm alright with
or an
this.
enemy space. The thing Aaron likes to do, or Maverick likes to do is to Delta Field us in front of boss spaces.
You actually get an achievement for that.
Yep. Every character has. Oh god, it's a seagull! Please don't roll high.
What was that you called me?
What did I call you when I showed up? I called you flame tits.
No, I knew. I was just making a joke.
Oh.
You want to try that again?
You're not the one who Delta Fielded me, lady!
Little tip for you. You get to pick whether you defend or evade after they make their attack roll. So if they should happen to roll a 1, there's no reason not to pick evade.
Yep. Because if you fail the evade roll, you take 1 damage, which would be what you would take if you defended anyway. And if you succeed the evade roll, you take no damage.
Oh! There you go.
Not
Now.
That seagull really is a boss now.
That seagull came for your life.
It has over 120 stars now.
Hiya!
Anyone feel like seagull hunting?
I'm gonna try to kill Kay. Does that count?
No, Kay is
Still alive.
Still alive, but...
But clothes only counts in horseshoes and hand
Yeah.
grenades.
And government work.
If I roll a 2, I win.
The question is,
Or if I roll a lot.
Sprint
I
got you
like
instead.
that.
Oh no! Oreo wins!
victory for Kai!
Clap for Oreo!
Hell!
Cookie win
Cookie win!
with my traumatized lizard.
Damn it!
I'm still laughing at-
If you upload this video, I will kill you. I do not accept that I got dead last.
I better go write my will then. Okay, I'm going to briefly split it so that we can have every board its own thing, and I will give you a sign when we are recording again.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay,
take
I'm gonna quickly